Students, this is Lakshmi Prasad of Computer Department. In this lecture, I will explain the components of computer system. This is chapter 1, Computer System Organization of class 11. Okay, in the last lecture I had explained 3 points, and in this lecture I will explain data transfer memory between memory and CPU, microprocessor, data information, in that data and its types, data capturing, storage and retrieval, data deletion and recovery. Okay, this is the contents of this particular video, and another 2 points I will explain later. See here, in data transfer between memory and CPU, in this diagram, you see in this diagram data transfer between memory and CPU, how the data is transferred through the bus. The data are transferred through the bus. Data need to transfer between CPU and primary memory, as well as between the primary and secondary memory also. Data are transferred between different components of a computer system using physical wires called buses. See here in this figure, so many buses are there: control bus, address bus, data bus, system bus. So many buses are there. That buses means bus is used for data transfer between USB ports and hard disk, or between a hard disk drive and a main memory. Buses are of 3 types: data bus, or transfer data between different components, and the address bus transfer address between the CPU and the main memory, and the address of the memory location of the CPU wants to read or write from is specified to the address bus. Means in the address bus transfers the address, data bus transfers the data, and control bus is used to communicate control signals between different components of a computer. All these 3 buses collectively makes a system bus. Means all the buses are having different jobs. They have controlled different type of jobs. Control bus controls the and manages how the data is transferred, how the address is transferred. Everything is managed by control bus. Address bus controls the address only, and data bus controls the data only, and the combination of all the 3 buses is known as system bus. As the CPU interacts directly with the main memory, any data entered from input or the data to be accessed from hard disk needs to be placed in a main memory for further processing. The data is then transferred between CPU and main memory using these buses. CPU placed on the address bus, and the address of the main memory location from which it wants to read or to write data. While executing the instruction, the CPU specially reads or write control signal through the control bus. Similarly, the CPU requires to read the data from main memory or write data to main memory. A data bus is bidirectional, but the control bus and address bus are unidirectional. Bidirectional means both sides, the data can be transferred from both sides, and unidirectional means only one direction, it should be transferred through one direction only. That is, data bus can move from CPU to main memory and main memory to this, but control bus and address bus is only unidirectional. Okay, now let's move to the microprocessor. What do you understand by microprocessor? Microprocessor is a chip. Okay, in earlier days a computer used to occupy a large room, or multiple cabinets are required for processing. But with the advance in technology, the physical size of the CPU has reduced, and it comes into a microchip. Only a single chip it is used. The whole programming is done in a single chip, that is known as a processor or CPU, which is implemented on the single microchip, is called microprocessor. That particular chip is known as microprocessor, through which the whole system is managed. That is known as microprocessor. Nowadays, almost the CPU are microprocessor, hence the terms are used simultaneously for practical purpose also. Microprocessor is a small sized electronic component inside a computer that carries out of various tasks involved in data processing as well as arithmetic and logical operations also. These days, a microprocessor is built over an integrated circuit comprising millions of small components like resistor, transistors, diode, and so many things are connected with this microprocessor. See, in this diagram, see the diagram. In this diagram, the generation of microprocessor is given here. Okay, in the generation of microprocessor, see here, first generation, second generation, third generation, and all are divided in so many parts, so many brackets, so many columns are there, through which we can understand how it is specified. Microprocessor are classified on the basis of different features. These are the features: maximum memory size, clock speed, cores, word size. These all are the features of microprocessor. Word size means its word size is the maximum number of bits that a processor can process at a time. That means in the first generation, 1 KB memory is used for 4. Word size is 4 by 8 bits. Means at this time the maximum number of bits per second in microprocessor. Okay, earlier a word was 8 bits. Similarly, now it moves to 16 bits, and maximum size of word size be now 64 bits. Okay, second one is memory size. Memory size is given there: 1 KB first generation, 1 KB second generation, 1 MB. Okay, similarly like that, so many generations, gradually it increases. The memory size is increased depending upon the word size. The size of the RAM varies. Initially, RAM was very small, 4 MB, due to 4 by 8 bits. Now it becomes 16, and 16 extra EB is required. Now the next point is clock speed. Clock speed means computer have an internal clock that generate pulses or signals at regular interval of time. Clock speed simply means the number of pulses generated per second by the clock inside a computer. The clock indicates the speed at which the computer can execute instructions. Okay, for that the clock speed is required. And next column is chorus. Core is the basic computational unit of CPU. Earlier, processor had only one computational unit. They are thereby capable of performing only one task at a time. With the advancement of multi-core processors, it has become possible for the computer to execute multiple tasks at the same time. That is known as core processor. Means dual core. You had learned about dual core, single core, quad core, octa core. This improves the gradually. As the technology improves, the number of cores will be improved or gradually increases. Now what is the final is known as octa core. Okay, this now we can use octa core. In mobiles also we are using processor cores, dual core, for quad core. You heard about all this. That is depend upon the cores. This is also depending upon the generation, it will improves. Now next point is your microprocessor only. Microprocessor specification I had already explained this one. Now next is microcontrollers. How it controls. Microcontroller is a small computing device which has a CPU fixed with the amount of RAM, ROM and other peripheral devices. Okay, microcontroller means this structure. See here in this structure, input, bus system, memory, output unit, CPU, clock, everything is mentioned. This is the structure of microcontroller. Because of very small size of the microcontroller, it is embedded in another devices or system to perform specific functionality. Means for each function it requires a device or hardware device. For example, microcontroller is fully automatic washing machine. See, a fully automatic washing machine is used to control the washing cycle without any human intervention. The cycle starts with the filling of water. That means starts and ends continuously. It works through the other devices, with the help of other devices. See, in this example, in washing machine, the cycle starts with filling of water, after which the clothes are soaked and washed Thereafter, the water is drained and the clothes are spun and dried. The simple use of microcontrol has permitted repeatedly execution of traditional tasks automatically without any human intervention, thereby saving precious time. These are the working of microcontrollers. That means every part is controlled by the microprocessor. Okay, this is also done by the this is also the one part of microprocessor. Okay, now let's move to the next point. Data information. Data information and its types. Data structures. Data and its type. This is the first point, data and its type. A computer is preliminary and process data. A computer system considers everything as data to be instructed, like pictures, songs, video, everything is to be instructed. Data and its type means what type of data we want to give as input and what type of data we want to receive as output. Data types are of three types. In this data are of three types. First one is structured data type. Structured data type means it is in a tabular form. Everything is stored in a tabular form, that is known as structured data type, and it is stored in the form of record. Every monthly attendance, see in this example, monthly attendance record of a student's roll number, name, month wise attendance is stored in this data. This is known as structured data type. And second one is unstructured data type. Unstructured data type means in this type of data which are not organized in a predefined record format are known as unstructured. In the last, it is organized in a predefined structure. In this particular clock, the data, which type of data is stored in which format, everything is stored. Okay, structured data, this is unstructured data. Okay, data is audio. Such type examples of that type of data is audio, video, files, graphic, etc. And this example, so many data, this is known as monthly record structures or record of student. And next one is semi-structured data. Data which in this type of data which have no well defined structure but maintain internal tags or marking separate data for each for data elements are called semi-structured data. These are monthly records of the students. Okay, this is known as semi-structured data. Now move to the next point, data capturing and retrieval. Data capturing, it involves the process of gathering the data from different sources in the form of digital. See, like here, capturing the data means barcode reader. In shopping malls, a barcode reader is there. According to it captures the data and tell us the rates of that particular data according to the barcode. Magnetic ink character reader, that is also used for data capturing. Data capturing is used. This is data capturing through which we can capture the data and it converts into the in digits form, that is known as data capturing. And next one is that data is to be stored in the form, captured data is stored and processed later. In the process of storing, capture the data capture, nowadays we are using product are heavy rate, therefore the data stored has become a challenging task. Okay, now data keeps on increasing with time, hence the storage devices are required to be upgraded periodically, and large organization computers are very larger and faster storage called data servers. Now we are using servers to store the data, that is for everything we require data storage. After data capturing, we require data storage. After storing the data, if we want to get the data, for that we require data retrieval. It involves fetching data from storage device for its processing as per the user requirement. As database grows, the challenges involved in searching and retrieval of data is acceptable many times also increase, and we have to, it is a crucial or faster for data processing. Now next point is data deletion and recovery. One of the biggest threat associated with digital data is its deletion. We know is it deletion. The storage device can be malfunctioned or crash down, resulting in the deletion of data. That means In case data get deleted accidentally or corrupted, there arises is need to recover a data. After deleting digitally storage data means changing the details of the data in a bit level. Okay, changing the or deleting the data. If we delete by knowingly, if we delete the data, it doesn't require. If it is automatically deletes the data, then we want to recover that data, recover that particular data. For in that case, it is where recovery of data is possible only if the content or memory space marked as deleted have not been overwritten by some other data. Then only it will be possible. That means data recovery is a process of retrieving deleted data or corrupted or lost data from secondary storage device. It can be recovered in another, but if it is not, when if it can be recovered, then only when we doesn't overwrite that data, then only it can be recovered. Otherwise it will not be recovered by any of the software. Okay, thank you all, take care, goodbye.